Hello and welcome to Tell the People, a program about our Catholic faith with news and information in and around the Catholic Diocese of Lafayette. I'm Stephanie Bernard. In today's show, Tris Littell has an interview with Father David Hebert, a newly ordained priest. Father Michael Champine's talk is about the moral teachings of the Church, the Ten Commandments, in the segment What It Means to Be Catholic. And in a conversation with Bishop Michael Gerald, Monsignor Richard Green interviews Bishop Gerald about another important topic. And now, Catholic news on this June 19th weekend. The Diocesan Office of Marriage and Family Life Ministry would like to extend an invitation to all married couples to participate in a special cruise scheduled for October 22nd through the 27th. The theme of this married couples cruise retreat will be Marriage 101, How to Navigate the Waters of Married Life and Make the Most of the Vocation God has given you. The retreat will be conducted by Fathers Jude Halfin and Neil McNeil while the ship is at sea. While in port, couples will be free to participate in shore excursions. These opportunities will include visiting Mayan ruins, swimming with dolphins, shopping tours, and more. Carnival cruise ship, the Ecstasy, will depart from New Orleans on Saturday, October 22nd. Space on this cruise is limited, and interested couples may register online at globaltraketravel.com or call 477-0835 for further details. GIA Publications Incorporated will present a special seminar entitled And With Your Spirit Too on Saturday, June 25th from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. at Immaculate Heart of Mary Catholic Church in Lafayette. All priests, choir directors, choir members, liturgists, and accompanists are invited to attend. The seminar, which will be geared toward helping church parishes prepare for the implementation of the revised Order of Mass in Advent 2011. Registration is free of charge. Registration must be handled directly with GIA Publications, either online at www.giamusic.com or by telephone 1-800-GIA-1358. The Lafayette Diocesan Office of Persons with Disabilities is pleased to announce that registration for Cajun Camp 2011 is now open. 2 week-long sessions will be held, the first of which will be July 11th through the 15th, and the second of which will be July 18th through the 22nd. The camp is held each day from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Deaf Action Center in Lafayette. Deadline for registration and payment is June 27th, either one session, $75 per child, or both, $150 per child. Cajun Camp is open to children from the ages 4 to 13 who are deaf, deafblind, hard of hearing, or who are interested in learning sign language. Camp activities will include sign language, arts and crafts, health and nutrition, aerobics, swimming, indoor and outdoor sports, games, drama, dance, and field trips. For additional information, please contact the Deaf Action Center at 232-3463. The Lafayette Diocesan Office of Christian Formation will sponsor a DRE/CRE training session on Saturday, July 23rd. Sign-in will begin at 8:30 a.m. and the day will start at 9 a.m. The deadline to register is Thursday, July 15th, and all participants will be required to bring their DRE handbook to the training day. Any DRE CRE is welcome to attend. For further information, please contact the Office of Christian Formation at 261-5550. Coming up next, Tristan Littell has an interview with Father David Hebert, a newly ordained priest.
Welcome to Tell the People. I'm Trista Littell, and with me here today we have a very special guest, a newly ordained priest in the Diocese of Lafayette, Father David Hebert. Welcome, Father David.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you with us here today.
It's good to be here.
Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, where you're from, who are your parents, and so forth?
I'm originally from Abbeville. My mother's name is Jane Hebert. My father's name is Lee Hebert, who is deceased. And I have 3 brothers and 1 sister, but I originally grew up and was born and raised in Abbeville.
Well, why don't you tell our audience what made you become interested in the priesthood?
For me, it's been a lifelong calling. I define myself as the reluctant seminarian and priest because it was something probably from the age of around 10 years old that I felt God was calling me. But I fought it and, you know, just didn't feel worthy enough that surely God was talking about somebody else and not me. But throughout my life, it's always been something that has been in the back of my mind. As I continued to work in my career, the more I got involved in church, the happier I became, and the more at peace I became with myself, and the less happy I was in the real world, I call it, and no longer what was important were the material things. And so it took a long time, but finally God had His way, and you know, the timing is everything, and the timing was right, and I pursued entering the seminary and was accepted.
Of all the attributes of God, which is most appealing to you, Father?
For me, I think Pope John Paul says it really great in his encyclical, God is love. And I think that for us it means, and for me it means that no matter where you've been, no matter what you've done, God is there and He wants you to repent, to come back to Him, and He's waiting there with open arms for you to come back and return to Him. And so for me, it's just His great love that will always be a source of comfort for me.
And His great mercy, His great love,
Absolutely.
His great mercy. And I think when we really identify the fact that, or come to understand the depth of His mercy and what He did, it makes all the difference.
Absolutely.
Well, I understand that there's a vesting ceremony that takes place at your ordination, and the person that you choose to vest you is generally someone special. Tell us who you've chosen and why.
I chose Father William Blanda at St. Mary Magdalene, which is my home parish. When I entered seminary, I entered through the Diocese of Shreveport because I was living in Shreveport for probably the last 15 years, and entered the diocese entered seminary through the Diocese of Shreveport. Very shortly, I realized I really needed to be home and to come back to my roots, and so I came back and asked Father Blanda if the diocese would accept me, would St. Mary Magdalene be my sponsor, and he was overjoyed and welcomed me with open arms and said absolutely yes, and has supported me throughout the last 3 years in my discernment and in my vocation and calling to the priesthood.
Now, as far as your homilist at your first Mass, I know that too is generally someone very special to you. Who did you select for that and why?
I selected Father Javier Bustos. He is going to represent, or he represented seminary at my ordination and gave testimony on my behalf, and he is just a wonderful human being, and he was the professor of moral theology at seminary, which happens to be my favorite aspect of seminary and the course of study. And so we got to be friends, and I asked him to be my homilist since he will be coming down for my ordination, and he was very humbled and graciously accepted.
Now, there's generally approximately a year between the transitional diaconate and ordination to the priesthood. During that year span, how did you see, or what growth did you see in yourself during that period?
I think for me, just becoming so much more at peace with my decision, which is really an affirmation in what God has planned for me all along. You know, I think you go through different stages in the seminary where you go through, well, is this really what God is calling me to do? And you kind of go in and out of, you know, is this right for me? But I think in the last year, after being ordained a deacon in May of last year, the last year just in serving God in a whole new capacity has really just reaffirmed that this has been the right decision for me, and I am very much at peace and happy to serve as a priest here in the Diocese of Lafayette.
What an honor. 50 years from now, how would you like to be remembered?
I think I would like to be remembered as a holy and compassionate priest. I think just being able to relate to people with my life experience and understanding what they've gone through, what the troubles are in their life, I've experienced, and I hope hope and pray that it helps me in my ministry to help people in whatever crisis they may be in, to find God present there.
And what gifts do you bring with you now?
Well, one of them, I think, is my experience. Again, I'm an older vocation. This is a second career for me, and so I have a lot of life experience. I feel that I also have a lot of compassion for other people. I have they described me at seminary as someone who was pastoral and compassionate with others, and I think that would be something I would be very proud to be remembered as a priest here in the diocese.
And I also understand a teacher and a father.
Yes, correct.
Mm-hmm. Well, I tell you what, this has been a wonderful opportunity to have this time with our new priest of the Diocese of Lafayette. Do you have any closing remarks?
I'd just like to really thank all the people here in the diocese who have been our benefactors in prayer, financially, in friendship and support, because I don't think that any of us can make it through seminary without the prayers and support of the people who are here in the diocese, and so thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Father. Thank you, folks, for being with us today on Tell the People. Please keep him in your prayers and all of our newly ordained priests.
Coming up next, Father Michael Champine's talk is about the moral teachings of the Church, the 10 Commandments, in this segment, What It Means to be Catholic.
Good morning, and welcome back to Tell the People, and to our section, What It Means to be Catholic. If you're joining us, we are treating now the 10 Commandments and giving a bit of an introduction to the 10 Commandments and the moral life of the Christian. Of course, God revealed on Mount Horeb to Moses the 10 Commandments, which were kind of like an operating instructions for human nature. He revealed what was already naturally apprehensible to man because of man's intellect to be able to perceive a nature and to come to some understanding about that nature, and yet it was necessary that God would reveal it because of man's, the weakness of his intellect and his mind, and of course the weakness of his will to be able to desire and to carry out the commandments. We're looking at that introduction to the 10 Commandments, and today we want to speak a little bit about the life of virtue, because the Catechism